One of the most important things that you can do in your business is find the right partners to work with. The truth is that businesses, especially big businesses, are not built alone. Great things are not done alone. And so whenever you have a business that's grown to massive proportions, is massively successful, it's because that business had the right partners in place. And so one thing that I like to look for in my partners is their skill set. So we're going to talk about 3 different things about partners that are very important to identify, but the first one is going to be their skill set. So when I have some sort of skill set, let's say I have the ability to market, or I have the ability to sell, or I have the ability to engineer a product, I'm going to find people that have complementary skill sets to my own skill set. So when I'm looking for business partners, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not just blindly like,
hey, you seem like a cool guy, or you seem like a cool girl. Why don't you become my business partner?
That wouldn't make any sense. I need to find somebody who has a complementary skill set to mine. We can't have the same skill set because you can, but it just makes things a little bit more complicated because then you just have to find more partners essentially, and then it just gets a little bit messy. But if you have somebody that has the opposite skill set of you, or somebody that has a complementary skill set to whatever you're doing, you can become partners with that person, and you're going to probably have a higher chance of success. And you're going to probably have a higher chance of success because your skills complement each other. Now, the second thing that I look for is the network that that person has. Now, they don't have to be super wealthy. They don't have to be the most connected person in the world, but I have my own personal network as a businessman. I have people that I work with, I have people that I trust, I have people that I like to partner with. And then my business partners must also come to the table with a network. So firstly, it's a skill set. They have to have the skill set that's going to allow them to be a good partner to me. And then secondly, it's going to be that network. They have to have a strong network in areas where I may not have a network. So let me just give you a quick example. Let's say I am a consulting firm that focuses specifically on tech companies. So I have a whole network in the tech space, and I have all these people at Microsoft and Amazon and Google that I work with, and I have a strong network in the tech space. But I want to get into finance. And so if I bring a partner that used to work at Morgan Stanley, or, like one of those big firms, they potentially have a network that I don't have. And so it's not that I'm relying on them to bring me new business, but they're going to open the doors for that business to come through the doors. They're going to open the doors for those relationships to be built because they come out of that world. They understand how they talk. They understand how they walk, where they go to lunch, what they like to eat for lunch. They know those people, and they know the messaging that reaches those people. You see, messaging is very, very important in business. And if you can reach the audience through your partnerships, that's going to be a much easier thing to do than trying to change what you've already got going on, or change your messaging to kind of fit in, because they can tell, right? You have to have somebody who's coming out of that world in order to be able to reach them properly. So when you have these partners and they have the right skill set and they have a complementary network to whatever you already have going, that can build a really, really strong partnership. You see, when it comes to partnership, it's not about who's better. You're not competing against each other. You have to realize that you're on the same team. And so the more diversity that you can have in your partnership, the better off you are in the long run, because the truth is, things change in business. The market changes, the economy changes, the way customers buy changes, consumer preferences change, consumer spending changes, policies change, everything changes. And so how can you become the most resilient business throughout all these changes? You see, every business has an expiration date. Every business dies eventually, but it only dies if you can't sustain it. It's kind of like if you throw a ball in the air and you're always just trying to keep it up in the air, and you keep it up in the air, and you keep it up in the air, and every time it falls down and you have to bounce it back up, it's kind of like having a business. Like, this thing comes your way, and then regulations change, and then Apple cracks down on iOS, and you can no longer run ads as good as you used to, and all of a sudden this changes and that changes. And so if you have a strong partnership, you're going to be able to keep that ball in the air for longer. And so that's why you need to have partners that have strong networks. Don't partner with people that don't know people. You have to have a partner that has a strong network that can complement your network. Now, the third thing that you want to find in a partner is somebody who sees the vision that you have for the business. They have to believe in the vision fully. They have to be committed fully. You can't just have some sort of partnership with somebody who only kind of believes in what you're doing. They really, really have to buy into that belief and buy into that project or that vision that you have for that company, because there are going to be times when the market changes, things are tough, things aren't going so great. And so you have to make sure that your partner believes in your vision so much that they're willing to do whatever it takes in order to make sure that that business is successful. I've had some business experience in my life where I've had partners who were not so committed, and at the first sign of trouble, they left, they jumped ship, right? And that's okay, that's fine, that's just how they operate, and that's why they're no longer going to be my partner. But I also have partners who saw the challenges, they saw what was going on, and they decided that they believed in the vision so much that they were going to stay on board and help take us to the next level, because every business is going to encounter things that are unexpected. You see, the funny thing is about a business plan is that you're never going to actually follow it. I've never heard of a business actually following their business plan. Yes, it's a good idea to have it. It's a good framework to have, but it just gives you a general idea of what you're going to be doing, and you almost never follow it. Because the truth is, when you're going into business, things happen that you never could have anticipated or expected, and no amount of SWOT analysis is going to tell you what's going to happen in business. And so you have to be ready for it. And that's why it's so important to have the right partnerships and the right people on your side when you're going into business. So again, let's go ahead and review. Number one is a skill set. You have to make sure that your partner has a complementary skill set to you. Not the same skills, but complementary skills. And sometimes those are actually opposite. And it's very important that people realize that it's not that you guys just don't understand each other, it's that you're thinking in different ways, and that's perfect. That's the perfect place to be. Secondly, you want to have a partner that has a strong network. Somebody who can bring the right people to the table, the right deals to the table, get you in the right rooms in order to be able to grow your business. You have to have a partner that has a strong network. Very, very, very important. And thirdly, of course, you have to have a partner that believes in your vision fully, 100%, 1000%, no matter what, they're with you. They're loyal. Loyalty is very, very important. Somebody who believes in the vision is very, very important. And somebody who can stick to your company values, your mission and vision, that is very, very important. And that's how you build a strong partnership. If you can find those three things in a partner, and granted, like if one or two of these are missing, I would say if one of them is missing, you're still fine. But if two of them are missing, maybe reconsider the partnership. So just analyze the partnerships that you have in your life. Analyze any future partnerships. Make sure that they fit these three guidelines. I would say they're guidelines because, again, if it's not perfect, it can still work. But the ideal place to be is when you have all three of these. You have alignment on the mission and vision, you have the proper skill sets that complement each other, and you have a large network that you both bring to the table to make sure that this business is a success. Alrighty guys, those are the three things that I look for in my business partners, and I think you would take some, and I think it would benefit for you to do so as well. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.